Blackstone Audio presents Winter King, The Dawn of Tudor England by Thomas Penn. This book is read by Simon Vance. For Kate. I love the rose both red and white. Is that your pure, perfect appetite? Thomas Phillips. I love, and whom love ye? Circa 1486. Since men love at their own pleasure and fear at the pleasure of the prince, the wise prince should build his foundation upon that which is his own, not upon that which belongs to others. Only he must seek to avoid being hated. Machiavelli, The Prince. Introduction. Henry VII ruled England for almost a quarter-century, from 1485 to 1509. During his reign, the civil wars that had convulsed the country for much of the 15th century burned themselves out. By its end, he had laid the foundations for the dynasty that bore his name, Tudor. He was a man with a highly dubious claim to the throne, who seized power and passed it on in the first untroubled succession in almost a century. Yet, wedged between two of the most notorious monarchs in English history, the arch-villain Richard III and the massive figure of Henry VIII, Henry VII remains mysterious. Or as his first biographer, the 17th century political thinker Francis Bacon put it, a dark prince. In English history, Henry VII's reign is still widely understood as a time of transition, one in which the violent feuds of the previous decades gave way to a glorious age of Renaissance and Reformation. This was the myth that the Tudors themselves built. The later Tudors referred to Henry VII as we now see him, the unifier of a war-torn land, a wise king who brought justice and stability, and who set the crown on a sound financial footing. Nonetheless, they were unable to eradicate the lingering sense of a reign that degenerated into oppression, extortion, and a kind of terror. At its core, an avaricious Machiavellian king who inspired not love, but fear. In calling him a dark prince, Bacon's emphasis was on the sinister as well as the opaque. Henry VII, he wrote, was infinitely suspicious, and he was right to be so, for his times were full of secret conspiracies and troubles. Perhaps the most telling verdict of all is that of Shakespeare, who omits Henry VII altogether from his sequence of history plays, and not for want of material, but, one suspects, because the reign was...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?